welcome to Quirky Books with Katie. Today I'm going to be doing a very special video for you guys, and that is going to be my favorite books of all time. And I apologize in advance because I'm sick and my voice probably sounds like crap right now. For those of you guys that don't know, for a book to get onto my favorite shelf takes a lot. Some of the criteria is it has to make me have a severe case of the feels. I have to be able to laugh, cry, everything, and I have to just really, really enjoy it above any other books. So that is why I do not have a lot of books on my favorites list. So I'm going to go through the books on my favorites list and go through a couple like honorable mentions as well, just like, oh, you were almost there, just not like that much off. So let's get started. First is The City of Bones and City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. These are books 1 and 3 in the Mortal Instruments series. The Mortal Instruments series is one of my all-time favorites. I know a ton of other people like it as well. The movie's coming out August 21st. Oh my god, so excited. Okay, so time to form coherent thoughts, Katie. Reasons I like this series. It's unique. It's about these people called shadow hunters who chase demons. The writing is amazing. The characters are amazing. Jace is one of my all-time fictional boyfriends. Love him so much. This series is just amazing. I recommend it to like all of my friends. It's really good. And that goes without saying for all the books in this video. You should definitely go pick all of these up. Next is The Last Olympian by Riordan. This is the last book in the Percy Jackson series. Percy Jackson series, one of my all-time favorites. It's filled with action, romance, most people's OTP. Yeah, it is just so good. And it has mythology in it too. I love mythology. I apologize, this video is probably really crappy because I'm just saying I love everything so much. But if you want to know more of what reasons why I like to, just comment down below and ask. Another Rick Riordan book is The Son of Neptune. Well, this is the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series, which is kind of the companion series to the Percy Jackson series. Now, The Last Hero, which is the first book in the series, I liked, but The Son of Neptune had me from the start. We got to see Percy back after like 2 or 3 years since The Last Olympian came out. I was just fangirling over this book, and the ending was such a big cliffhanger, in my opinion, even bigger than Mark of Athena. Do not shoot me. Oh my god, this book was so good. We got to see Percy back. Oh, amazing. The next series is very, very special to me. Right now, it is my all-time favorite series. And all 3 of the books managed to make it onto my favorites list. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, and that is the Delirium series by Lauren Oliver. I love these series so much. The writing is just absolutely gorgeous. And this is the first book where I really underlined passages. And I lent it out to some of my friends, and they were all just like, I was laughing the whole time. I'm like, why? It's not a funny book. And they're like, oh, you had some really funny underlining and comments, and I'm like, oh, okay. Amazing book. Second book in the series is Pandemonium. This book, I think, was kind of the most emotional. The character Lena has to go through so much, and I like it, even though my favorite love interest is only in it on, like, the not at all. Sad face. And the last book in the series is Requiem, which actually came out this year. Sorry if I'm blinding you guys. I know a lot of people did not like this book because it had an open ending. I loved the open ending. The last page made me cry like a baby, but it was really good. I recommend the series to anybody who likes dystopians or books about romance. The next 3 books are kind of series or books that are less well known. This is a Legend by Marie Lu. I am in love with this book. I'm in love with the series, even though Marie Lu right now, so mad. I'll get to why I'm mad later. This book is just so fast-paced, so action-packed. I recommend it to people that are kind of looking for something to fill the void left by The Hunger Games or Divergent. This book, the 2 main characters, I love them both so much. It's just, these characters can give me a case of the feels. And currently, the main characters, Day and June, are my OTP. That is how much I love these 2 characters. Next is Unspoken by Sarah Rees Brennan. This is the first book in a series. She actually wrote the Demon's Lexicon series, and she's working on the Bane Chronicles with Cassandra Clare right now. This book actually gave me the biggest case of feels out of anybody. There were some points I was laughing so hard I was crying, and then other parts I was crying so hard I was laughing, if that makes any sense. This book had the mother of all cliffhanger endings. What was with that ending? And the next book doesn't come out until September. I can't even. It was really bad. But this book is hilarious. Definitely go check it out. The last book in my absolute all-time favorite section is Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini. Amazing series about mythology and romance, and just, the writer likes to throw us for a loop in this series. I find I like that about most series. If I get extremely emotionally damaged, or if that has a really bad cliffhanger ending, I find that I like it, but I feel that's good, because that means you're actually, like, attached to the characters, and you actually give a shit what happens to them. The next few books that I talk about are kind of going to be honorable mentions. They're like almost favorites, but didn't quite make it. First two I'm going to talk about I don't have. Number one is Fixing Delilah by Sarah Auchler. Sarah Auchler is one of my all-time favorite contemporary writers. I love her book so much. She just came out with a new one recently, but Fixing Delilah just kind of spoke to me on a more like emotional level, because I had a lot in common with the main character, and I really enjoyed that book. It was so good. And next is The Day Before by Lisa Schroeder. I was really hesitant to pick this book up because it is told entirely in verse. And now, I am not a fan of poetry. The only poet I enjoy is Robert Frost. That's it. So I picked this book, I'm like, oh, okay. I was bawling by about page 50. And this is in a book where there's literally like 3 or 4 stanzas per page. The writing is just so beautiful and so lyrical. And I'm not a big fan of insta-love. And these two main characters managed to fall in love in a day, and it still does not feel like insta-love. It's just so good. The next book I'm going to talk about doesn't have Dust Jacket, because I lent it out to a friend and I haven't gotten it back yet, but that is Prodigy by Marie Lu. It is the second book in the Legend series, which I talked about earlier, and now this is where I'm going to go on my rant. This book had the most emotionally damaging cliffhanger ending. Now, after Delirium, I did not know that was possible. But these two main characters at the end of this is when they became my OTP, because I want to go and just strangle both of them because they're both being so stupid. But at least I don't have to wait a year till the next book comes out. The next one comes out November 5th. Except someone might die in Champion, and I am, like, insane. If I could get an arc of this book, I would just die. Cough, cough. Next is this Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. Sarah Dessen is one of my all-time favorite authors. There's a bunch of her books that I really like. This one, though, is my favorite by her. Now, people ask, why this one? Because most people, when they ask, what's your favorite Sarah Dessen book, most people say Truth About Forever or Just Listen. This one spoke to me on an emotional level as well. The main character has an issue with falling in love. I kind of have the same issue, so I just really enjoyed this book. The main character is hilarious, and so was the love interest. I believe we're getting to the end of this video. The next honorable mention is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book in the Grisha series. This is high fantasy and in Russia, and it's so amazing. Another series where I ship the main characters so bad, except everyone likes the villain in this series. I don't, so people think I'm weird because of that. The second book actually just came out, and I haven't read it yet, and I don't know why. So all of those books are books that I recommend. You may think it's weird that I just mentioned like 1 or 2 books in the series, but even though they are my favorite series, there's just certain books that hold a special place in my heart, and those are the books I decided to talk about you guys today. So what are your favorite books? I am always in the mood to read more books, and I am currently in an awful reading slump. So if you have a book that you think I'd like, comment it down below. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you again soon.